Time for Friday's Kickstarter. My name is Priscilla Regina Naloga. Welcome aboard. In case you have just tuned in on Facebook or YouTube, or you are even following up on the discussions on our Twitter handle NTV Uganda, thank you so much. The hashtag is morning at NTV, and we continue with our arts and culture conversations here on Friday's edition of Morning at NTV. In our Kickstarter, we're going to be looking at African Readers Conference 2022. Did you know there was one? In case you didn't know, well, we get to know about it. So Uganda is to host a two-day African conference on reading for all. The conference will be opened by Rosie Agoy, the Secretary General for UNESCO in Uganda, and that will be at Makerere University. Read Us Africa will host the conference, and the theme for the year 2022 is maximizing Africa's literacy potential through digitalization in commemoration of the International Literacy Day 2022, and also in collaboration with the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. Now, I do have Agatha Rachel that is joining me this morning. She is the CEO, Read Us Africa, and later on we're also going to be joined by Priska Kelwanga, who's the Finance Director still at Read Us Africa, and they're going to be giving us more details about this African Readers Conference. I will start with you, Agatha. Good morning to you and welcome to Morning at NTV.
Thank you so much. Yes, Read Us Africa, it's a youth-instigated organization that aspires to foster reading, writing and leadership skills in African communities. As a springboard for empowering potential change agents in African soil, we were founded in 2020. We are just 2 years old, but we are in over 21 African countries. So we have a number of activities like book club establishments, book donation drives, publications. For instance, we have Dead Manners here, and so on. Yes, so the African Readers Conference, it's a conference that we host every year to commemorate the World of Literacy, and this year we are looking at maximizing Africa's literacy potential through digitalization. It's going to be taking place at Makerere University CF2 Auditorium, and day one is going to be half, and day two is going to be a full event. But then before the conference itself, we already have the pre-ARC activities like submission for the anthology Dead Manners, which features 50 poets from 10 African countries. The copy goes for just 30 Ugandan shillings. We also ran a writing competition that was for high schools and university students. The scripts were judged and the winners were already announced. And then also from 1st of August to 31st, we're running a 1-month hybrid reading campaign on social media. Yes. So the conference, we're going to be having activities like keynote speeches, we're going to be having panel discussions, poet performances, exhibitions. Exhibitions go for just 50,000 Ugandan shillings. You might want to exhibit your books, anything, art, sculpture, anything that you might want to bring at the conference. And then also we're going to be having workshops, and then also awarding winners of our writing competitions during the conference itself.
Okay. Yeah. All right, thank you so much, Agatha. We're joined by Priska, who is also part of Read for Us, and so we're definitely going to be wanting to understand. 2022 is here, but since it started here in Uganda in 2020, what have been the success stories that have come through the conference being held?
Yeah, thank you so much. So Read Us Africa, this is our second year now hosting Read Us Africa, hosting the African Readers Conference. It's the second year, so this is our second edition. First of all, we've been able to establish book reading clubs in different universities and high schools. So far, nurturing the culture comes with understanding that we need to get closer to students in universities. And the success stories, first of all, we know reading has nurtured so many billionaires, has nurtured so many leaders, and it's a culture that one ought to have to navigate so many aspects of life. So the students who have been part of the campaign and the students who have been part of the family have been able to navigate how to understand life, how to grow within themselves, because we have also had stories of personal growth from reading. It's a culture that as Read Us Africa we embrace, and it's very pertinent to us, but also we have seen so many students grow through it. It's very exciting to know that you're impacting communities through nurturing the reading culture. So yeah.
Okay. Agatha, this time around there's exciting news. There's a partnership that Read Us Africa is having with the Ministry of Labour, Gender and Social Development. And so how did that start and how did they buy into this?
Okay. Yeah, well, first of all, what we all need to note is that African Leaders Conference is meant to commemorate the World Day of Literacy. And International Day of Literacy was proclaimed by UNESCO during its 14th session. That was on 26th of October, 1966. So since 1967, we have been having this kind of celebrations all over the world to, to remind the general public of the importance of literacy, but also to steer conversations on how best we can improve the reading culture. So the African Leaders Conference is just one of those that, by actually default, should be, one of the activities under the International Day of Literacy. But then that aside, we followed the normal legal procedure. We wrote a concept note, took it to the Permanent Secretary's office, and then upon that, they endorsed, and then, they approved the partnership.
Okay, all right. When it comes to target audience, Priska, who's the target audience and why should that target audience be excited about the Readers Conference?
So the first exciting thing, we have 50 writers, 50 poets featured in this book from all over Africa, from Uganda, from Botswana, from Zimbabwe, from Nigeria, Kenya, and other countries. So it's very exciting to have young people have their work published. It's the very first of its kind in the country to have an anthology published in this country. So it's very exciting that people are going to have access to this book very cheaply. It's 30,000 Ugandan shillings. But also we have participation from all over. We don't cut. It's a culture that the people growing up, we have always been told that if you want to hide something from an African, put it in writing, which is a very wrong concept and it's a very wrong narrative. So we are breaking the narrative. And that's why participation, you just have to go onto our social media handles, Read Us Africa on Twitter, you'll get access to the registration link and register. You'll be able to attend either virtually or physically. Physically, we are going to have the event happen at Makerere, CTF 1. It's the Yusuf Lule Auditorium on 6th and 7th. If you register, you will be able to get access to the venue, but also we'll have an hybrid version. So for those that may not be able to come to Makerere on 6th and 7th, you will be able to access the event virtually. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Now, looking at this book, it's titled Dead Manners, and it's very peculiar. One of the poets is actually a cop in Uganda police. He's called Omadangi Oasi. He's a poet, and he's also
poetry editor.
He's a poetry editor. So that's very, very interesting. Wow. Okay, all right. Dead Manners is going to be featuring as part of the things that and activities and books on sale for those of you that are interested in readers, belong to the book clubs that Priska did mention about. This conference has a lot of investment that has come through. Where is your funding coming from?
For any event to run successfully, of course, there should be funds, but then also no man can live on us island, you get. So we have a number of partners that are on board. We have Ministry of Gender, there is the Uganda National Commission for UNESCO, we have High People by Innocent Kawoya, we have Rotary Club of Bugolobi on board, we have National Culture Forum, PLO Lumumba Foundation, African Youth Leadership Forum, and also Makerere University that are sponsoring this.
All right. So who's eligible to attend?
Everyone is eligible. We don't have a limitation of either age or
so you have something for 0 to 5 years at the conference?
Yes.
Okay, like
we do.
We actually have a writer with, she's 8 years. She's
7 years old.
She's 7 years old.
And she's going to be, she has written actually over 4 books, and she's going to be exhibiting her books.
Oh yes, they featured her in total.
We actually want to nurture the culture, even in fact, it's supposed to be nurtured from young age, so that it doesn't appear so new that young people you get to tell about reading and they're like, oh no, it's boring and all that stuff. But we have seen actually for all the billionaires I know and I've researched about, they have reading as one of their very, very personal characters. So we are welcoming every age group. We are welcoming everyone to attend this conference. and we can't wait to see you. We are really excited.
Okay, all right. Agatha, I want to find out from you, why should we actually get the tradition of celebrating African readers and writers?
Yes, the reason why we should celebrate African readers, first of all, they're the ones who are really trying to, as Prisca already said, you know, there's that bias saying that if you want to hide something from an African, then put it in a book, which means that our reading culture is dead. But then if I write dead manners and there are no readers, then what is the use? You get? They're the ones actually who promote the publishing industry, and also they're the same people who also try to improve the reading culture in Africa. Yes.
Okay, all right. So give us the details for the conference.
It's going to be on 6th and 7th of September, just next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, Makerere University CTF2 Auditorium. Day one is going to start from 2 p.m. East African time.
Okay. All right. Very good.
For more details, you can go to our website, www.readersafrica.org. Yes.
And our social media handles, Readers Africa on Twitter and Facebook. We'll be launching the book that day, the first day on the 6th. It's the first activity we'll have. We are very excited, very excited.
I'm looking at a poem here on page 33. I am Emumasaba, rooted in Gishu soil, planted near the waters of Sironko, breathing the Manafua sand dunes, dancing in the bells ringing from Mutoto. I am a Mumasaba who has always been taught to weed and manure my pride, to stand confident among thousands, to embrace boldness as my shield, because that's what defines my people. I am a Mumasaba who knows nothing about pretense, very true, who does not utter words I don't mean, very true of them, whose tears are never to be seen, I have actually never seen them, whose fears are to be kept in the bedroom, peculiar, because that's what defines my people. I am a Mumasaba who understands nothing like chips and chicken. Eating foods on a white man's menu shows the loss of my traditions. Okay, now that has caught me. Shows the loss of my traditions, which have to water down the centuries and re-inspire new kingsmen. Malewa is my favorite. I have tasted it. It's actually so nice. Wow. I cannot let down my ancestors. I am a Mumasaba, trained like my forefathers. Wow. Now that is a food for thought for you, whichever part of Uganda that you come from. You see, this is how impactful reading is. It has caused me to go like, by the way, this chips and chicken thing is not really an African thing. Why don't I just stick to my matoke and ground nuts, which is healthier, and we were good before this white man came. Sincerely, our food was good. It was very tasteful and very beautiful, and it's a culture that is part of us. But if you don't get to read about it, then how will you understand what your ancestors enjoyed before you came forth? All that in Dead Manners, which is available at 30,000 shillings. Okay, get over to Read Us Africa on their social media platforms and place your order, and also prepare to attend that conference. Thank you so much, ladies. We're going to go to Stephen Bide, who is at Makerere University, that has featured in all our conversations this morning. Makerere University, this end of 2022, September, October, they're going to be celebrating 100 years of existence. So we do have Stephen Bide on ground to let us know. Today there are prayers that are being conducted as a kick-off of this celebration. Stephen Bide, how is the atmosphere in the 100-year university?
Yes, good morning to you, Priscilla. Thank you so much for coming to me. I'm coming to you live from Makerere at the Freedom Square. We know that everyone by now knows that Makerere University is celebrating 100 years, a centenary of existence, and that's why Makerere has organized a series of events, and today they are giving thanks to the Lord because of this journey, and they are anchoring this journey on the biblical teaching that is based on 1 Samuel chapter 7 verse 12, and that says, "Thus far the Lord has brought us." And that's why I'm going to be speaking to the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University in charge of Finance and Administration, Professor Henry Alinitwe about this Thanksgiving that they have organized. Good morning to you, Professor.
Morning, sir. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good evening to our viewers and listeners.
Good evening for those who are out of the country, but for those who are in Uganda, it's still morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, and first of all, bring us to speed. You are celebrating 100 years, and I know that as Makele, this is quite a milestone, a journey of 100 years. Tell us why are you giving thanks to the Lord? Because, yes, 100 years is not something that is so small.
Yeah, 100 years is not a small thing, and Makele has gone through a number of stages. And some of them have already been communicated about, like the commencement in 1922, where it started as a small technical school. And then later it started admitting students who are doing medicine at various levels, and then fine art in the 30s. Then later education also came in. And so of course Makele has made a very big impact in society in Uganda, not just in Uganda, in the region as a whole. As we all know, quite a number of presidents have gone through Makele, including the late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, Mkapa, Kibaki of Kenya, even Kabila of Zaire, not late, but he's still alive. He's passed through also the gates of Makele. So you can see we made big impact. Very many people have gone through and have contributed to the growth of the nation and the region.
No wonder it's called.
We thank God for this enormous contribution over the last 100 years. Yeah.
No wonder it's called the Harvard of Africa. But I know within a journey, as you're taking on a journey, there are some ups and downs, the turns that you find along the way. You've spoken about the achievements, but what about those challenges that you have met along the way? I know you've not been here for 100 years, but at least for the time you've been here, by the time you've watched Makele, what are some of the things that you would note that these have been on a negative side of it?
Yeah, of course, on the negative side of it, all the challenges Makele has faced, of course, even at the time of commencement, the education was for boys. And the motto then was, let's be men. Of course, along the way, that has been overcome, at least addressed. At the moment, the biggest percentage of our students is actually girls, the ladies. So it was a challenge initially, but now that has been worked on. Of course, as the university went through those days of, I mean 1970s, there were issues of staff being prosecuted or persecuted. There were issues of people running away, and therefore there were no faculty, professors, and at that time, people had no confidence in the university systems. Because remember, even Idi Amin awarded degrees to his own son. So that was a big challenge then. But then, also recently, I mean, the most recent is when our main building got burnt in 2020. But now, again, the good thing is that it's being reconstructed, as you can see. At the site, the work is going on, and we hope that possibly by end of next year, the building should be up and standing.
You know that high table, or call it the pulpit, for the Christians is going to have the Archbishop, according to the plan or the program, it's going to have the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, the Grand Mufti of Uganda, that is Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mobaje. I've seen also that the chairperson of the Uganda Episcopal Conference, Bishop Anthony Zua. There was also the president of the Seventh Adventist Church, that is Dr. Maka. But away from those people are going to be preaching and speaking to these people who are going to be occupying these seats. We know that Makele, with these challenges, the challenges of dealing with discipline of the students, challenges of strikes, industrial actions by the lecturers and the like, what do you expect from these spiritual leaders that are going to be speaking to the people? In terms of discipline, but also on the industrial action.
I mean, the regions help us. They help to shape ourselves from the spiritual point of view, from the moral point of view. So yes, at the university we emphasize academics, but we also know that these key stakeholders have got a big role to play in shaping our students and also our members of staff and all the other stakeholders around us. So therefore, their preachings, their what they impart onto us matters quite a lot, and that's why we have also decided to invite them so that we pray together and they help us in shaping Makerere University and the nation. Because remember, Makerere is a small Uganda. You know, all tribes in Uganda are represented at Makerere University. So by reaching to us at Makerere, it means we are reaching the entire nation. And actually not just the nation, but also East African region, because we have Kenyans here, we have Rwandese, we have Tanzanians, Congolese, Sudanese, and other nationalities.
Being at the helm of an institution, education institution, what would you point out as the major challenges facing our education system away from the hard economic situation that we are in, where parents, some of them, are not even able to pay for the fees, the tuition of the students? But when you talk about quality education, accessible and quality education, what should those education managers like you, but also government and parents, whoever is concerned, should be looking at if you have to have quality education?
Yeah, I mean, to have quality education, you need to have all aspects of the education system working, right from the nursery schools, the system, the way they grow up to university. Because here we receive people when they're already mature and they have gone through systems. So that angle matters a lot. But also the other aspects to do with our setting, environmental setting. You know, these days there are issues like, say, drugs and other vices in schools, and even in society, not just in schools, but in society. Those also impact on how we get to our quality education at the university. Because, you know, at the university you have young adults, and they are very energetic, they want to experiment many things, and so that's also quite important. The other issue is mindset.
As we wind up.
Yeah, as we wind up, the issue of mindset is very, very important. Because if we want to develop our country, then it means that we need to work hard. Not just getting rich quickly, but grow into the system, work hard, make sure that you have products and processes that can contribute to the country so that we're able to have impact. Not just getting things, you know, just like that on a silver plate without working.
Thank you so much, Professor Henry Alinaitre, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Makerere University. He's in charge of finance and administration. He is here as part of the organizing team that is here for the Thanksgiving ceremony for the 100 years, a centenary celebration for Makerere University. Back to you in studio, Stephen Mbide, Professor Ichibuga, and you now to Chris Higenyi in the studios.
Stephen Mbide for bringing us that perspective on centenary celebrations for Makerere University, the largest and most prestigious institution of higher learning in the country.
Okay, all right. Now, as we come to the crown of morning at NTV, the entire week has been fantastic, but it ends on an even more fantastic note. We have birthday babies. That have opened the month of September with birthdays.
Yeah.
The first birthday baby that you see there is a young man who once grew to become Aine Biona Brian. So, Mr. Brian Aine Biona, happiest birthday, Garuga. May you grow to see the goodness of the Lord, favor and love, bound to more openings in the light age with that beautiful smile and your specs. Wishes from us at NTV, your friends and your family, Mr. Swagger.
Go ye forth and claim your inheritance. Another
birthday baby that we have in the house is Madame Erina Muyeyewa. Happy birthday to you, Erina. May your day bring boundless opportunities in all you do. Run for the best and age with grace and beauty. Wishes from Maureen. Wishes are coming through from your friends and from your family, Erina. Then we also have another lady who's celebrating her birthday today, Nakajugo. That is Grace, aka Mama Jason. Birthday wishes are coming in from Reverend Fred Semazi, Barbara Namazi, Michael, Erina, and of course your big brother Sebachije Dan. So happy birthday to you beautiful people, and to all of you that were born on
dear people.
Dear people, happy birthday, dear people, happy birthday, happy birthday.
If there is a choir out there that needs a little bit of bass, please pay some money. I'll be available to do some of that.
On another note,
Which
we have
note
to serve
now?
some people. This Premier League season has started off on a differentiating
There
note.
are people at the top of the table. How did they get there? All right.
Know your place, members, Manchester
right.
United.
What was going on?
He wants to sit with the big boys. And the big boys are giving him that, bro,
Yeah,
if you
know.
sit here, you must know the code.
You must know the code.
Just because they've had 1, 2, or 3 wins, they think they're on top of the world.
Interesting there. No doubt.
Well, over the weekend, it's going to be the clash of the Titans.
Clash.
Arsenal, Manchester United. Wait for them.
We'll be watching from the sidelines and
Monday.
ensuring that one of them gets clobbered so that Chelsea can also make its way as the season.
You had to fix yourself there.
You know.
Did you see the lane in which you were seated? You and others.
An aristocrat. Interesting there.
Okay.
All right. That will do it for the show today, the very second day of September. The weekend is coming up. There's a lot that is going to happen. Me, I have an opportunity. I'll be doing some reading. This is Dead Manners.
We shall be doing some reading.
Anthology of New Age poetry. I'm going to be refining a few skills.
All right, there's a poem here that I'm intrigued to read. I speak for the woman whose hope of feeding human has become long gone with the winds. The woman who's looked at as a childbearing machine. The woman whose job description there's no rest. And her plea for a minute's rest is followed by a blow to her breaking back. I speak for the woman.
Of course, God bless the woman. And of course, forever you're up to perfect the hustle. It's been a good day. Have yourself a lovely weekend.